It's laughable if it wasn't so pathetic. The article ends with Elizabeth Gutfar standing tall, swearing, "I will commit to being treasurer. I will not sell real estate. I will cut all ties. I believe being a treasurer is a full-time job." Said it with a straight face, like she wasn't knee-deep in lies. Smooth as silk, no hesitation. And in the end, she got exactly what she wanted. Play the politician, stack millions, and bounce after bleeding the county dry. Reading this, you can't help but see it. This is pure addiction. A woman fully hooked on greed. She probably felt a rush every single time she slid money into her own account, like some people chasing a fix. Because how else do you explain it? 10 years of the same hustle, risking everything, knowing full well the walls would close and eventually. And now, she's looking at 10 years behind bars. But honestly, that's a slap on the wrist. I don't care how many candles she's got on her birthday cake. Age doesn't erase the damage. She lived like royalty off taxpayer money, turned public trust into her personal party fund, and left the people broke. Why should she get mercy now? That money isn't coming back. The damage is permanent. 10 years doesn't balance the books. It just means she'll get out in time to enjoy retirement. Elizabeth Gutfar, the now former Santa Cruz County Treasurer, stands accused of swiping over $39 million from taxpayers. Let that sink in. The whole county only pulls in about $41 million a year in property taxes. That's supposed to cover 6 school districts, a community college, and multiple districts. And she pocketed nearly all of it. For a decade, state auditors say she funneled money straight into her accounts while cooking the books, lying to her staff, supervisors, and the state. The heaviest hits came in her final year. Chase Bank's anti-money laundering team flagged $4.5 million in shady wires moving from county accounts into her shell businesses. That's when House of Cards collapsed. She resigned overnight, and suddenly the FBI, the state, and county officials were all circling. And yet, somehow, she's still not criminally charged. At least not yet. Instead, Santa Cruz County is suing, chasing down every dime she stole. A judge froze her assets, locking her out of liquidating the leftovers. Investigators say she seized total control by tricking her chief deputy treasurer into handing over every access code. Meanwhile, she kept 6 employees clueless. But here's the kicker. She bought loyalty with gifts, dropped $6,000 so her deputy could buy an air conditioner, paid her cell phone bill monthly, handed over a car for the deputy's sister, covered bills for her secretary, slid her $1,500 for a birthday. She even let a tax clerk's daughter get married on her ranch and threw in gifts for her kids, all just hush money wrapped in kindness. But the biggest shame? The Santa Cruz County Board. They completely fumbled oversight. Red flags waved in her face, and they looked away, like the cash reports that didn't budge by a single penny for more than a year. Think about that. Not 1 cent changing, and no one thought to ask questions. And now, $39 million is gone. And Elizabeth? She's only getting 10 years. The community's furious. For most, 10 years feels like comedy compared to betrayal and scale of her theft. One board member said they begged for the maximum, but still, this is all she got. A decade for stealing the future of schools, students, and families. So now I've got to ask you, was that sentence justice or just a weak tap on the wrist? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this story hit you the way it hit me, smash that like button and subscribe. Because trust me, there's more where this came from. The annual salary for Thornton Township trustees Mary Avant, Chris Gonzalez, Valeria Stubbs, and Byron Stanley are all listed at $14,710. But here's the problem. Those numbers don't match the official salary schedule. As first-term trustees, Avant, Stubbs, and Stanley should only be at $11,195. The only one getting the right check is Gonzalez. He's in his second term, so $14,710 fits. Everyone else? Overpaid. Already a red flag. And then comes Robert Hunt, the finance director. He's still collecting a fat paycheck, $116 for $55 a year, even though he's a leftover from both the Henyard and Zuccarelli administrations. Not an elected board member, just sitting there cashing out. Someone asked him about the township's tentative budget, And what does he do? Pushes it off to clerk Casey Nesbitt. But wait, he's a finance guy. Why is he dodging budget questions like it's hot lava? Speaking of Nesbitt, the clerk makes $17,825 annually and also doubles as the township's FOIA officer. She swears it matches the salary schedule, but the document she sent only shows her own pay. Convenient, right? Meanwhile, Highway Commissioner Antoine Russell is pocketing $27,519 when the salary schedule clearly says a first-termer should be at $17,825. That's nearly $10,000 extra. And then you got Assessor Cassandra Stahn at $53,716. Maybe that's correct, but no one's even checking. And don't forget about Heath Price. He runs the township's food pantry in Harvey. Used to be tight with Henyard. His salary? $72,219. Still locked in. And here's the twist. He's been noticeably calmer lately, softer, even friendly. Maybe it's the job security. Maybe it's that comfortable paycheck. Didn't shed the pounds. But Heavy's little brother looks like he found peace in the budget. So here we are. Tiffany Henyard is gone, but the money mess is still here. Makes you think. Was some of what Tiffany said actually true? Nobody's excusing her chaos. But clearly she wasn't the only one playing games with taxpayer money. How the money resides, right? Now, the township's holding a public hearing on July 22nd at 5 p.m. for the budgets. General fund, general assistance, and road and bridge. Sounds like it's time to pull up a chair and keep an eye on Thornton again. And don't forget, they fought hard to get Napoleon Harris in. Remember that giant gym rally? The same one Tiffany claimed they locked her out of? We all clowned her for that. But in the end, they got their way. Napoleon's sitting real comfortable now. Over $200,000 from the township on top of his $89,000 already. Life's good when you're at the top. But let's be real, this story's not done. So if you're rocking with this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe. And for the folks pushing false narratives, especially black folks tearing down a black woman in power, you should be ashamed. Because some of y'all aren't just messy, you're criminal. Seats will be lost. Jail cells will be filled. And for the ones trying to thank Tiffany Henyard, step up, say it again, and shut your stupid ass up.